Good evening. Good evening. The Board of Commissioners meeting is now called to order. We'd like to now be led in prayer by Mayor Pro Tem Young.
Let us pray. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us thus far on our way, Thou who hast by Thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in Your path, we pray. God, we just come before You this evening because there is no other help that we know. We come before You, God, humble. We come before You, God, for direction. We come before You, God, asking that we hear Your heart and that You hear the heart of Your people. We come before You, God, this evening to ask that You help us, God, by giving us the wisdom that You gave Solomon. We ask, God, that You will help us be one people. We ask, God, that You will help us to understand that it's okay to agree to disagree. But at the end of the day, God, that we will come out victorious as You have planned that we do. We come this evening, God, with many mixed emotions. We come, God, with many different feelings. But I believe, God, that we all are on one accord with concerns. We ask this evening, God, that You will be in the midst of Your people. Help us, God, to understand how to transact business the way that You would do it, God. Help us, God, to say things, God, only the way that You would say it. Help us, God, to get an understanding, oh God, in all of our getting. Help us, God, to love one another in spite of. Help us, God, to know and be able to hear Your voice when You speak to us, oh God. God, we've come through a hard time and we're still in the midst of it, God, but yet we trust You, Lord. We're coming through times, God, that we've been through before, God, but yet will we trust You, God, because again, You've proven Yourself to be with us, God. We do ask, God, that You will give the board the wisdom, God. Help us, God, to understand exactly what it will take that we as citizens of Princeville will be able to come out victoriously no matter what way it ends. God, we just ask right now that You will touch the heart of each citizen here, that You will help us to understand what it is that we are up against. Help us to have patience, oh God, as we've been having, but give us even more grace for more patience, God. We just come this evening, Father, knowing that if we would lean and depend on You, God, all will be well. God, we pray right now that You would just bless each person individually. Bless us together collectively, God, because we are one, if the truth be told. God, we ask right now that anything that's said or done in this meeting this evening, God, that will be said the way that You would say it. Help us, oh God, to know what to say and when to say it. We ask that You would teach us, oh God, the way that we should go. Give us a heart like Thine, oh God. But most of all, God, let us have love for one another. Let us know how to speak to one another in love and kindness. Let us know, God, when You are speaking, God, that we will hear You. We praise You. We bless You, God, because we know, God, that You are the mighty King. And You will keep us, oh God, if our minds are stayed on You. We thank You, we glorify You, and we do praise Your name. And let the people of God say amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. At this time, would you please stand for the pledge of allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so very much. At this time, I would like to recognize our Representative Willingham. Thank you for being here tonight. Our Commissioner, Dr. Harris, thank you for being here. And other elected officials in the House. Okay. I'm going to start by saying this is not the mitigation meeting. This is our regular board meeting. The mitigation meeting will be on Thursday night at Harbor High School 7 o'clock p.m. The mitigation meeting will be Thursday night, 7 o'clock p.m., Marlboro High School. There's a sign-up sheet going around if you want to speak tonight. Make sure your name is on the sign-up sheet, and you are limited to 2 minutes tonight. 2 minutes tonight per individual. At this time, public comments. Yes, I am.
Mr. Mayor, that benefit against the Princeville citizens college. I like to say.
Mr. Andrews.
Yes, my name is Isabel Andrews, one of the former commissioner in Princeville, North Carolina. I live in Princeville at 725 Greenwood Boulevard, Princeville, North Carolina, and I was totally condemned. Can y'all hear me? No. I see everybody making blue faces there. How you doing this side? I'm sorry about that. Again, my name is Isabel Andrews. I'm a former commissioner, 2 terms in Princeville. And I lived in Princeville for 32 years. And I'm sorry about how things had to go again. But that's been repetitious. And we always say for justice, liberty and justice. Well, on November the 1st, I was not out of order. I only want to comment, and I think I'll give this opportunity tonight. I want to comment, but the mayor and mayor pro tem, they silent me, just because I want to talk about the buyout. Everybody have their own mind and own decision, where they want to go and where they want to be and where they want to stay. I'm not trying to get nobody to do no more than what they want to do. But I'm standing here today, I represent the buyout. I represent the buyout. I just want everyone to know, because 17 years, we was told in 99 that it was going to be a 500-year flood. It only been for 16 years. When I was then moved back in to 2000, so it's been 16 years. And maybe even less the next time. It's a flood zone. We just look at it what it is. It's a flood zone area. It's going to happen again. And I'm tired of keep getting things, losing all my memory, scared every time it rains, jumping up to the door and window. It's very stressful. Seeing it's not, thinking that it's going to flood again and again. It's very stressful. I just want to buy out so I can move to a safer place. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Andrews. Barry Hines Sr.
My problem indeed is I talk loud enough anyway. My problem is, my name is Barry Hines Sr., 448 Mutual Boulevard. There's 7 members in my family. This is not my first rodeo, this is the second time around. I'm tied to my land. I don't see where I would benefit one dime or my family would benefit by me leaving. I don't believe that nobody is going to buy my flood land and give me enough money to move somewhere else to stay the same. So that's why, no, I'm not going to buy out, not because I'm against somebody else. I'm talking about in Barry's world, and that's what I'm looking at. What am I going to gain? My other thing is, what will the city gain by selling out? If they sell out, they lose their tax base. They can't build houses back on this. So where are they going to get the tax money from? Is the city going to die based on that? That's why I know I wouldn't sell my land. I'm gonna stay. I don't want anybody to make the decision for me. Thank you, Mr. Hines. David Burton.
Hello, and how's everybody doing? The reason why I hear what she said, he said, which is all true, but in my recognition is that I'm up in age of about 70, really at that age. And I'm too old to go through the same thing that I went through again. And I don't want my children or anybody's children to come up here and follow the past, which we already failed. And it's just like it is, when nobody knows what the Lord's work can do up there. But it's just to show you got to realize that we are down in the dumps. And it's going to keep on happening. And then your thing is, do you want to let your grandchildren grow up being scared? Or do you want to go to a better place? That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Bird. Mr. Sherrod.
Thank you, ma'am. My name is Kel Sherrod, 909 K Avenue. I don't have no problem with nobody wanting to leave. I don't have no problem with nobody wanting to stay. But if anybody wanted to leave, let them be free to leave. And don't hold no kind of drug in who want to leave. And don't hold no drug in anybody who want to stay. They had their own choice. And I don't want the board, the members back here trying to stop nobody from leaving. If they want the opportunity to leave, give them the opportunity to leave. We got Viola Harrison here in the county commission, and she's supposed to be supporting District 2. If anybody have any problem with the county, y'all check with Viola Harrison. She represents District 2, and she's supposed to be supporting the issue who anyone who want to leave, support the people who want to stay. And on that behalf, with the board, we need to cut back because we leaving our tax base. People won't want to leave. And we need to cut our staff. What we paying some of our staff, we paying them too much. And we need to cut our staff before we get in the red. We don't want LBC to come in here and take what we already done in her. And we need to cut our staff. We paying some employees for a position don't exist. We need to do away with that. We need to cut the town manager salary, get them over to the attorney. The attorney can do more for the town and the town manager. And we need to cut back because we get in the red already, and I see it now. And we need another truck to come out and help the people pick up this garbage side here. We ain't got one truck rolling.
2 minutes.
Thanks, sir.
2 minutes.
Thank you, man. I'll get back with you. Mr. Bullock?
I'm sorry about the first name, I think the last name is Delaney. Okay.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I know everybody is suffering here and there. You all have went through some things. But the only thing I want you to know, take it to God in prayer. Ask Him how to lead you. And He will direct you in the right way. That's the way to do it. And He will help you through all your trials and tribulations. Ask Him, what should I do in this situation? Then wait on and search. And He will give you the answer. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mayor Perkins.
Good evening. My name is Gillian Perkins, 123 Neville Street, Princeville, and I'm not here to talk about what you think I'm going to talk about. All I want to know is why is it taking so long for the trash to be picked up? Do you have a contract with the county? But then you need to tell the county that the citizens of Princeville said it's too long. And they need to pick that trash up. Every time I go to my house to pick up my mail, I'm sick of looking at that trash. They should be. In 1999, Crowder Gulf came in, the trucks, and they picked it up, and we did not have to look at it like this. We are taxpayers. I don't know who they got the contract with, but they need to find somebody else, because in the next week, I want to see the trash gone. If not, then the citizens need to come back and talk about the trash. The buyout, you can deal with it on your own, but the trash, it's got to go. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor Perkins. Reverend Higgs.
Mr. Mayor, fellow council person, I'm a little bit different. I'm not going to address the audience because it's y'all meeting, so I want to address you all because y'all going to be in a position where y'all going to be the one that will make a critical decision, and that decision should not be the one that was made in 1999. People should be given the opportunity, if the Lord has blessed them, or either their parents in some cases, to get a job, go out, make an earning, buy property in Princeville. They should not lose the right of their property just because of flood come. They should be given every option that is available, just like someone stated earlier. Those that want to stay, let them stay in the hole that was there when they came in there, be buried there, let the mud go in their face. But those that want to be lifted up should be given the opportunity. And I've had some direct interchange with y'all town manager there. He's about the most unprofessional person that I have ever dealt with. And if I was on the city council, he would be gone tomorrow. And he tells me a lot about South Carolina, but what he don't know, I lived in South Carolina. I know South Carolina flood just like anywhere else does. But that's all he talked about is South Carolina. But he didn't realize he in Princeville, he needed to do the will of the people, and y'all as elected officials, tomorrow morning, I would look at his contract and give him a pair of roller skate and carry him with, I would carry him to the bypass. Thank you.
What's your address, Reverend Higgs?
Okay, 58 Great Drive.
That's a lie.
Commissioner Harris.
First, let me say good evening to everybody. I want to thank Mr. Sherrod for advising me of what my duties are. But I didn't need that.
Thank you.
Most of you should know me. I have had the privilege of serving you for the last 15 years as Edgecombe County Commissioner in District 2. So the majority of you I know by first names. So I didn't really need an introduction, but thank you anyway. I added my name to the sheet. Usually on your monthly meeting, you don't allow
Anybody to talk, right?
as I was called to
Right.
speak during your meetings. But since you added other people, I decided to add my name so I can express to you, as citizens in my district, what I have been trying to do to help you. It is the right of these elected bodies right here to make a decision about the town of Princeville.
That's right.
I am their support as the county commissioner. I can't come in and override
That's
city councilmen, okay? Just to make sure that all of you know that. What I have advised them to do, because they're elected in wards, just like we're elected in districts, is to call a ward meeting of every one of their citizens and get their ideas and what they would like to see them do. Okay, I'm gonna ask for a little privilege to go my 2 minutes. The reason I say this is because when they have such a decision to make about a town, they need to know what the citizens who voted them into office feel like they should do. This is not something that you just do on your own. Because when it's all said and done, if they don't have anybody in their ward, they will no longer hold a seat on the Board of Commissioners. So I've asked them to do that, to ask your opinion before they make a decision. But you must realize, only the town or the county, if you live outside of Princeville, can make that decision. So don't listen to Tom, Dick, and Harry, and Sue, who may be on the street telling you
Come on now.
things. I want you to do things the right way because I want you to get all that you should have as citizens of Edgecombe County. These folks are going to do what's in the best interest, but they've got to know what you feel. And I believe that your elected official will listen to you, okay, before that decision is made. They told you about the mitigation meeting Thursday night. Everything you're talking about now is what you need to take over to Thursday night.
That's right.
But you also need to listen to what Mr. Hines said. If you live on property and it was given to you, do you feel like you're going to get enough money to go across town, out of town, to buy property? You got to start realizing that when you buy out, if you don't get enough money from the government, what are you going to do? If your own property and it's paid for, you need to start thinking about that thing, okay? If you're of age and you have children that can help you to move, start thinking about it. But you can't just jump into something and you don't know all the particulars about it. So you've got to make sure you listen at the mitigation meeting, what it tells you. The government is not going to come in here and make you rich. I can tell you that now. They're not going to put you on the hill when you've been living in the valley. So I just want you to think with your mind and your heart, as the sister told you over there, to go to God in prayer before you start talking out the side of your mouth about what they're not doing and what I'm not doing. The first Monday of every month, I'd love to see all of you sitting in the Edgecombe County meeting, which is on the second floor. 7 o'clock, first Monday. Some of you I've never seen there. So don't say what I haven't done for you, because you haven't called me up, you haven't sent me a text, you haven't stopped by my house, and my name's always been in the phone book. So I don't want to hear what we haven't done for you if you haven't asked. I don't know what you need if you haven't asked me. Same thing with this board. I came here to support you, whether you decide to take a buyout or not. I'm still going to be your friend.
Next item on the agenda, any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Ma'am,
Yes, sir.
see my name on this, sir?
I do not. You're on the public hearing for the trailers.
They may have signed the wrong sign.
Okay, come on up. You want to
I spoke around. Good walk. I say good evening, everybody. My name is Ed Bridges, and I'm a former mayor, two-term mayor of the town of Princeville, and I've been living over there all my life. And since we're having these floods and so forth, if anyone who want to sell out individually, sell out. Sell out. But don't try to carry the whole town. Carry the whole town. So, I want to say that Louisiana, state of Louisiana, is living under the curve. It's down. So floods is nothing new but the Princeville and some other states. So we're gonna have though, the dike was built in 58 and ended in 65. And it had no more flooding for 33 years. The engineers came in during the flood of Florida, but it was two floods. Then was the first one, and all the farms and everything was flooded out, and when flood came in, the dike was breached. It went over the dike. So the engineers were left, I understand, something like $15,000. So if another flood came, that they would have an information and suggestion for the Princeville commissioner so that they could eliminate flood. All right, here comes Matthew. The method has been reported. So if you're tired of living in Princeville and want to move out, do it individually. Don't try to care. I'm saying again, carrying the town. It's unfair to those that want to stay. And Princeville 9, the mayor, was elected to make the town great again. This board wasn't elected to sell the town out. So they're doing a good job. Give them a chance. Give them a chance to do things. I don't have 2 minutes to say about it. Let me say this. I have a book here that the town was surveyed in 62, 43 pages. And I'll give it to the board that they can read what to say about Princeville. People are not stupid in Princeville. Say that, and the board is not, they're doing a good job. Doing a good job. And I hope they continue to do a good job. I'm sorry, I don't have a minute.
Ms. White?
Good evening, my name is Dorothy White. I'm at 506 Church Street in Princeville, in front of the Glen Ridge Department. I'm a former commissioner also. My point is, whether you sell or you don't sell, that's not my problem. My problem is what I heard what he said about the dike. We need some kind of drainage system in Princeville. The drainage system is bad. So maybe we can all go, everybody get together and work on the drainage system. Something got to be done. I live right behind the thing where the water comes. Every time it rains, I can't get out of my front door. So something has to be done about the system. I went to Tarver after the storm that night. My daughter lives in an hour the water was gone. What about our drainage system? Well, we have to do something to help people. I'm 72 years old, too old to keep running. Okay? That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Did anyone else sign the wrong sheet? Anyone else sign the wrong sheet? Thank you. Again, next item on the agenda, any additions or deletions to the agenda? Next item on the agenda, motion to approve the consent agenda. Been properly moved and second that we approve the consent agenda. Are there any questions? All in favor, use the voting sign aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Thank you much. Is there a motion to open the public hearing for modification of R1 zoning code ordinance to allow the return of pre-existing modular and manufactured homes that were damaged by Hurricane Matthew? Been properly moved and second that we open the public hearing. Mr. Staten, William Staten.
My name is William Staten. I don't live in Princeville. I live on the outskirts of Princeville. And I just wanted, they were saying something about going to put some shovels in Princeville.
Possibility.
Okay, so I just want to know that then. Possibility to put them in Princeville, possibility to get them in the county too. But I talked to FEMA today from the county, from the FEMA office, and she told me that the county would not let them put a trailer on my land, which my lot is big enough for a trailer. So I really not have to wait later and find out why.
Carolyn Hill? No? Barry Hines Senior? Yes, I've been out of my home since October, like everybody else. And yeah, I'm looking to get temporary housing, and hopefully if they do come with the FEMA trailers, I would like to have one. The other thing I want to say is, I'm tied to my land. I don't know about anybody else. My mother, 8th grade graduate. I'm raising her great-great-grandchildren on her land. Why would I leave it? Just don't make sense to me. And I'm going to say this and go. I really don't believe that anybody have my best interest at heart if the town loses tax base. And my other question is, will the ones that stay back, will our taxes increase to cover those that leave?
Thank you, Mr. Hines. David Burke.
We're going here once again. I feel that the taxes in Princeville will increase because many times I have went up to the office and asked them would they decrease my taxes, and they simply told me no. Simply told me no because my income was a little bit over the limit. And so I asked them, why is that some people that's in the low project housing is paying so less, and the people that got good income is paying way over the budget what they should be paying. And also on the water content thing, my water bill is running me $122 a month. So add it up in 12 months' time, so you get it. If you add the tax bill up in 12 months' time, and see what you get. Then you add the flood bill up in 12 months' time and see what you pay. It's outrageous. And we only get but a certain amount of money every month or once a year, and we ain't getting no raises. But every time you turn around, something is going up. And we fall further and further behind on our contents on everything. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Antoine Lloyd.
Yes, my name is Antoine Lloyd. I live at 436 Mitchell Boulevard. And on Thursday, FEMA, one of the guys came out and they was going to put a trailer in the back of my house. I had enough room to do everything, but I got a call on yesterday and they was telling me that they couldn't do it because it was a flood zone. So at this point, I asked her, I said, well, what are we supposed to do next? I said, do you have any other place that we're supposed to go at this point? And she said, at this point, they haven't heard anything about what they're supposed to do. So.
You know who that person was that told you that? Write that down. That is not true. That's not true. And this Emma Wilkins.
My name is Emma Wilkins, and I live in 106 days. So ready to get back home till I just don't know what to do. And I'm wondering why FEMA is notifying different folks that they qualify for a trailer. They told us when we was there that they have to call you to see whether you were qualified for a trailer. And I was like some of the first on the list. I haven't heard anything from FEMA yet, but I would love to get a FEMA trailer to go back home. And if that, and like different people tell you that, you know, they'll come and move your house free, or they'll come and tear your house down, and now you get a call saying, you know, your house is too bad to be moved. It's the flows, the foundation and all that too weak and this and that and the other. But I mean, if they don't want to move, just come and tear it down for me and clean it up. You know, just come and tear it down for me and clean it up. I want to try to save enough money to get back home, but if I got to pay somebody $5,000 to tear it down and move it, what am I have to get back home? I won't have nothing to get back home. So if anybody want to tear mine down, you can have it if you want it. if you just come and move it.
Ma'am, I'm gonna make a statement to that, to what you're talking about. Now or later, come in my report.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Elaine Bridges? No comment? You checking out? I believe it's Betty Winter. Betty Winton. Wednesday. I guess not. Let's see. Carolyn Whitehead. Carolyn Whitehead. Gertrude Dozier. Gertrude Dozier. Mary Cofield.
I think some of those names is the names of people that wanted to sign up for a trailer. They were thinking that this.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, but some of those, that's not enough.
Okay. Motion to close the public hearing.
My name is Linda Worsley, and I live at 106 Worsley Lane, Princeville, North Carolina. I'm also a former commissioner for the town of Princeville for 15 years. This public hearing is supposed to have been for us voting on or discussing the fact that we can actually put mobile homes back in Princeville, North Carolina. Our general chapter has stated before that R1 could not be put, if you had a mobile home, you could no longer put it back in Princeville. So this is what this public hearing is all about tonight. And I personally would love to be able to have mobile homes, the R1 rezoned back, or either grandfathered in for all of those that actually own mobile homes and want to put them back in Princeville. And I just wanted to go on record as saying that and let you all know exactly what this public hearing was supposed to be about. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Worsley. Motion to close the public hearing. It's been properly moved and seconded that we close the public hearing. Are there questions? All in favor, use the voting sign aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is new business. Pre-existing modular and manufactured home in R1 zone. You want to read the resolution? The resolution reads as follows. A resolution to address the town's code of ordinance concerning Hurricane Matthew to allow all pre-existing dwellings, both modular and manufactured dwellings, to be reconstructed back
to their original state. In addition, all temporary housing will be allowed in the town located at home sites after review by the town administration. All sites involving governmental housing will be approved and set by the town of Princeville. This resolution will only be for the Hurricane Matthew storm event. Now, from the time to the time, it becomes necessary for changes in the town's ordinance, and whereas the town of Princeville, the first town in America incorporated by African Americans, received a hurricane event named Matthew that dumped a sizable amount of rain in the town of Princeville within a 24-hour period between October the 8th, 2016 to October the 9th, 2016, and whereas the torrential rainfall filled the Tar River and created the threat of flooding the town of Princeville. Additionally, the town of Princeville, town manager, and the Princeville Volunteer Fire Department evacuated its 2,200 citizens on October 9, 2016. Though the dike held flood waters, they eventually spilled into the town of Princeville, causing major damage to 240 homes and moderate damage to 229 homes. And whereas the Princeville Board of Commissioners wishes to keep its base population and remain the first town in America incorporated by African Americans, and now therefore all be it ordained by the town of Princeville Board of Commissioners certify that Section 1, all owners of modular and manufactured homes that were damaged by Hurricane Matthew's floodwaters can renovate or replace modular and manufactured homes in the town of Princeville that were pre-existing, as well as inhabited by citizens of Princeville. This will also include the addition, if needed, modular manufactured homes to be temporarily used by the citizens of Princeville. This will only apply to governmentally issued housing concerns displaced citizens due to the storm event levied by Hurricane Matthew. Lastly, this dwelling will not have to comply with any newly passed construction ordinances. Section 2, the general ordinance of the town of Princeville can be revised as needed to include amendments, codification, and will be compiled in form and adopted and shall constitute the code of ordinance. Section 3, this resolution to the ordinance shall be added to the town's ordinance through amendment and will be available to the citizens of Princeville for the citizens of Princeville review. Section 4, this resolution is an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the peace, health, safety, and general welfare of the people of this municipality and shall take effect at the earliest date provided by law. Is there a motion to pass a resolution that will allow renovation or replacement of manufactured homes damaged by Matthew in R1 zones? Then probably moved and second that we pass this resolution. Other questions? All in favor, use the voting sign aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Thank you very much. The next item is attachment C, Community Block Grant Program, Nutritional Program for Seniors. Is there a motion to accept the Princeville Senior Citizen Program Director and Driver as employees of the town of Princeville? And this is Edgecombe County Department of Social Services administered salary for the Director of Princeville Senior Citizens Program and its driver. Due to structural changes, those funds will be given to the town of Princeville for its to administer to the Director and Driver of the Princeville Senior Citizen Program. The Director and Driver will become town of Princeville employees. Is there a motion to accept the Princeville Senior Citizen Program Director and Princeville Senior Citizen Van Driver as employees of the town of Princeville? It's been probably moved in second that we accept the Princeville Senior Citizens Program Director and Driver as employees of the town of Princeville. Other questions? All in favor, use the voting sign aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is item attachment D. Attachment D, board
Good evening, everyone. Mayor and Town Council. Attachment D is the request for lights. This was to purchase lights that were damaged during the flood. Our lights are now damaged beyond repair, and to replace the cost of the lights would be about $10,000. I'm recommending that we don't do it at this time because we're not going to do a parade. So I'm recommending that we don't make this purchase.
Question for the town manager. I do have one question. I'm assuming we did not have insurance on the lights, okay, but they are reimbursable by FEMA, okay? So why should we wait?
I just want to make sure we have adequate cash flow. I mean, we're not in danger of going over, but I don't want to do anything that we don't have to, because I know we're going to have to make some road repairs, and our road repairs are going to be costly. So that $10,000 that we would possibly take out to pay for the lights would go for road repair or any other additional emergency repair that would be reimbursed.
So road repair, we can't get that from FEMA as well?
Yeah, you'll get it, but
Okay.
what's going to happen is when you pay it, then that request has to go in
Okay.
and be looked at, and it might be anywhere from 30 to 60 days.
Okay, understood. Is there a motion to delay the purchase of the Christmas lights? Please, ladies and gentlemen, trying to finish up the meeting. We need to vote on it? Okay. Okay, very good, thank you. Next item on the agenda is attachment E, the distribution center. This is something that's critical right now. We have many people calling in on a daily basis, wanting to donate things to the town of Princeville, and we have run out of space to store it. So we're looking at two locations at this time, IGA, the old IGA shopping center, and the old Beer Company. I think IGA is about $600 cheaper.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
It needs some repairs. Okay.
Somewhere between 1,000.
The IGA building will need somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500 in repairs, and then I think they're at $1,000 a month somewhere in there. The old beer company, they've been quoted as wanting $2,000, plus we have to share the space with the owner, his items, and pay him, and pay the utilities. And I think those were the only two that I remember. Oh, and the Belt building. The Belt building was requesting $2,500. So what I'm asking the board is how long do we want to keep this open? Because now FEMA is starting to renege on the Emergency Operations Center as far as reimbursing the town. So I need to know what dollar amount you want to release me to do, and also how long do you want to keep it open?
I know this time we have people who want to bring in furniture, and we need to store that furniture until our citizens are back in their homes, so they have some furniture when they get back. So I don't know if 3 months is going to be sufficient. My thinking is at least a year, if possible. But then you're talking about spending money. Hopefully that's reimbursable.
We're advocating to get it reimbursed.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask our donation center supervisor, Ms. Johnson, do you have a preference of buildings?
I think, good evening, everybody. I think either of those sites will work, but then the key is that we need more space. Right now, the existing center is filled to capacity with clothes. And what you told me and shown us in the past, that clothes is not what you need right now. You need those cleaning supplies. You want to know if we have mattresses. You want to know if we have furniture. And so either of those buildings that are much larger would suffice. We just need to move quickly because we're starting to lose some of those donations to other towns. We don't want to do that. We want that to come right with the president. So we just need some quick action so we can get stuck in and start distributing it out with you guys.
In danger of the furniture that we store being damaged in either one of those facilities?
I didn't take a look. Did you look and see?
I haven't seen the beer company space, and I'm not sure if anybody has.
Fire department.
Fire department has.
Yeah, I looked at it, preliminary, did a walkthrough. I didn't see any, infrastructure consideration to mitigate, other than as far as the heating space, but you guys are not gonna really need to heat anything. The only thing that kind of would draw us is we didn't want the liability of being responsible for the personal content of the property owner. And so it wasn't feasible for us to share space that we could possibly be responsible for replacing or something that's missing or misplaced. So I think we were exposed to too much liability for the fire department concern to move into the beer company. But as far as the operation that was concerned for the building and as it relates to the structure, we didn't have any concerns as far as that.
IGA space, we're not real sure about the structure. There are some missing panels and ceilings, but we didn't see any evidence of there being any damage like flood waters or rain waters, rain waters. So it's a concrete floor, so we really couldn't tell. But like I said, there were some missing ceilings, so there may have been rain damage at some point.
Okay. And both of them have ramps, correct?
I know the IGA does.
Okay. What do you suggest?
I have concerns about having to fix up somebody else's building, because that's money we lose. Once we fix up that building, those repairs go along with that building. I'll touch base with Belt, and let's see if we can get him down to 2,000. He's at 25.
Okay.
So if you set a price, give me a price set. So I'm assuming you're gonna set it at 2,000. Is that what you want to set that per month in 4 years? Is that what you're saying? You said 18? 18, okay. 18 in 4 years.
And I feel the same way. I wouldn't want to fix up anybody else's property for a year, and then we don't know what they're gonna do with after we fix it up, go back to the full business again. So I would suggest that we look elsewhere, check with Bell.
All of these suggestions are good, but before we decide to fix up somebody else's building that we are going to be using, we should be looking at other places. If that place, that IGA building isn't leaking, maybe a roll of tar paper could be put over where it's subject to leaking. You can get that for $10 or $15 or $20. But we don't need to be investing money in restructuring, building, refabricating a building for not for a year at that $2,018 or $1,500 a month. It's just for receiving furniture and goods for the flood. So I think we'd be going backwards if we want to start building up somebody else's property and then rent it from them. Sounds like they're getting us. Whoever it is.
Let me ask the board this. How would you feel if we negotiated with that company to take something off the rent and then they would fix up that piece? How would you feel about that? IGA. I mean, they take something off of the rent just so we can get, because we're at an overflow. We're actually out of space.
As long as we inspect the building to make sure that there are no leakage.
We can get it.
We want to put anything in it and it ends up damaged. We won't get it good.
Okay. So we're setting it at 1,800. We're doing it for a year, and we're gonna see if we can negotiate at that to reduce repairs. That's the one.
But let's try to get something tomorrow.
Okay.
Because we got people waiting right now. I know one called me this afternoon. They have something they want to deliver Thursday. So if possible, let's get a contract signed tomorrow. Mr. Gerald.
Can you explain, tell us where the money may be coming from again, please?
The money's gonna probably have to come from fund balance. We do have a $20,000 contingency, but that money's gonna probably be used to, manage our cash flow issues as we pay for the repairs in the town and get reimbursed from FEMA. So that, the $20,000 that's in the budget, it won't come from that, it'll actually have to come from fund balance that we have.
So you feel like we may be able to recap from FEMA?
We're advocating now, we're advertising for a consultant as we speak, and that's one of the things that they're gonna advocate for us for. Now, we did send a request up to the governor's office to honor their statement that they were gonna pay for the donations.
Thank you.
It was my suggestion to negotiate for, I guess, the IGA building, taking something off the rent. Now, my concern is the contract. I don't think that it would be wise to just sign a contract within a day. I would want to review a contract and make sure that all the terms and conditions and everything is laid out before you sign anything, because you can end up in more trouble just signing it off before you review it. So I think that's the best course of action, but I think it'll take longer than a day.
Yes.
But you are a attorney, it doesn't take you long to review a contract. But by the same token, the stuff that's coming in now, we have some facilities in Tarboro that we can use, but I'm afraid if we use those, it will not be just as Princeville citizens, and the people that are calling, they want this stuff just for Princeville citizens. However, if we don't bring it in, we're gonna lose it. We're gonna lose it to somebody else. So it's a tough situation that we have to deal with right now. Whether we're gonna bring it into Tarboro for Edgecombe County citizens, or we don't have the space, we have to tell them no, they have to take it someplace else, so we're gonna lose it. Go, come on, young lady.
Good evening, everyone. I'm with IGA Reconstruction, and I would be happy to say that if it's reasonable cosmetics, which is simplified after we view the building, I mean, it's possible that we can turn around reasonable cosmetics to the IGA building depending upon what it is. But we would need at least that first 24 hours to look at it and see what needs to be justified and what needs to be done immediately so you can gain access. And that is our offer.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So we're gonna do it as soon as possible, okay? Next item on the agenda, the town manager's report.
Yeah, we need to go back and vote on that. We need to make a motion.
On which one?
On the $1,800 a month limit, and to keep the donation center open for 1 year.
Okay. Is there a motion to allow the town manager to negotiate a contract for a donation center not to exceed $1,800 per month for at least 1 year? It's been probably moved in second that we allow the town manager to negotiate a contract in an amount not to exceed $1,800 for a donation center, not to exceed 1 year. Other questions? All in favor, use the voting sign aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Thank you very much.
Good evening. How's everybody doing? This is just going to be a statement regarding the mitigation meeting that's going to be held on Monday. Thursday at 7 p.m. This Thursday at Tarboro High. This is the town statement. The residential mitigation efforts in Princeville will focus on the following. Mitigation means anything that they're doing to help citizens. Elevation of homes, acquisition of homes, and reconstruction of homes. Elevating homes will be the physical raising of existing structures to an elevation at the base flood level or higher if recommended by FEMA or the local ordinance.
The acquisition of homes uses FEMA funds to purchase the structure and land from a willing landowner. The home is demolished and the land is then deeded to the town with an open space restriction. The land must remain open in perpetuity to restore or conserve natural floodplain functions. Before the homeowner receives the funds from selling any, before the homeowner receives funds from the selling of the homes, any individual assistance or flood assistance funds not used to repair the home will be deducted from the balance due to the owner. If the owner still owes a mortgage to the home owes a mortgage on the home, that amount will be deducted as well. The reconstruction mitigation is construction that will be done on any improved or elevated home on the same site where the existing home has been partially damaged, completely damaged, demolished, or destroyed. This option will be available to existing homes that are not feasible for elevation due to deferred maintenance and or damage from flooding, stabilization, or walls of the home. So basically they'll reconstruct that last home and build it to the flood stage that's recommended by the town.
Thank you, Mr. Gerald. Fire Department report, anything?
Good evening, everyone. Not going to monopolize you guys' time, but just kind of want to give everybody where we stand with the fire department. As you guys know, we're down to 2 fire engines. We have gotten some donations of equipment from other cities, towns, individuals that are really appreciated. Right now, we don't have the ability to secure any of our items, so we've passed theft to occur. A lot of people, everything that we were going to salvage, metal items like file cabinets, SCBA bottles, people just came into scrappers. So at this point, we're looking to getting to a intermediate situation, like a temporary station. I do have some quotes available. At this point, I'm waiting on procurement requests, either from the town manager or county manager, whatever you guys think would be appropriate for that. And so I guess they got the logistics worked out as far as the funding for that. But definitely just kind of want to clear some things up for everybody. I know there's been some questions about our fire apparatus. Why do we allow our fire apparatus to be flooded? We did not leave them behind during the flood. They were submerged trying to save lives. And so I don't regret anything that I've done as a leader. Some of you all probably seen or rode on some of the equipment as it was 50% in the water. And so that's the damage that we sustained during life safety operations. Just so everybody's clear, the equipment was damaged in rescue operations. So nothing was left behind. And then the other equipment, the aggravating circumstances of like metal and electronics when they get wet by contaminated water that has petroleum products in it. It corrodes metal, weakens metal, and your electronics. And so I'm working with the insurance companies to get that taken care of. So at this point, the county has decommissioned the fuel that they were providing us for our generator, because we're operating out of a tent, and I don't know how long we're going to have that tent. But we got to have power so we can have telephones, charge our equipment. And as the temperature drops, we're going to see some significant operational challenges. Our diesel trucks are not going to want to start. The water could freeze up and destroy the pumps in the truck. And then once that happens, we don't have a fire truck. And so at this point, we're in a race against time. I'm down to 2 trucks. I got about 7 firefighters that I'm down to. Everybody else is displaced, some in Speed, some in Rocky Mount, some of them trying to get employment and so forth. So, and I'm out of that 7. So as I continue to work towards the recovery part, I understand you guys got some very important critical decisions to make, but despite those decisions, I have to provide you guys fire protection. And just looking back 17 years ago, when the first flood came, history vindicated the need for Princeville Fire Department to expand and to have water rescue capabilities. And so if we would have had those water rescue capabilities, training equipment, boats and so forth, we could have maximized our opportunity, you know, and our life preservation during those rescues. So at this point, whether the town buys or not, the fire department got to stay. And we got to provide fire protection and water rescue services. And that's a vital thing that we're going to have to embrace. So as we understand that tax base is going down, it's going to take a while for money to start coming back because people are not going to afford to really pay taxes if they're living in a hotel room. And that's something that we saw last time. So with that said, I'm going to make a request. The generator that we do have, it needs fuel. And we burn about 15 to 20 gallons a day of diesel fuel. And so we're going to be bankrupt if we got to continue going on like that. But I'm asking if you guys can provide us the fuel like the county initially did. And that would maximize a little bit of funding we do have, and I can put that towards recovery. And so I just feel that that will help us out a lot if you guys can do that. But that's important.
Thank you, Chief. Ms. Worsham, you have anything? Senior citizen report?
No, but I'm still having a hard time getting this man to come out to the inspection that we have decided to use for the senior citizens. And I really do want to try to get them back because our senior citizens are really failing. They don't have anywhere to go. They're not being able to talk to each other. And this is, I had one, I put my mom in the hospital, and as I was checking her in, I had one of my seniors check it out. So they're kind of falling apart. If we can get them back together and build some morale back up with them, that sure would help a lot.
So the only thing that's needed is inspection?
Inspection, and then the Upper Coast Plains would have to come in and inspect the facilities as well.
Okay.
Once that's done, and then the county would have to come in and inspect it as well. But as far as credentials and everything, I have been to school and I've had all the credentials that I need except one day class in Raleigh. But other than that, everything else should pan out to be okay once that's done. And also that I will be requesting that we're going to a Christmas party, as many of them as possible that can go on the 16th.
Okay. Thank you so much. You checking with the talk room?
Yes,
okay.
I'll check again tomorrow.
Okay. Gentlemen,
Voices of people that want to entertain the idea of moving and those that want to stay. But I want to reiterate this very strongly to you. This board, not speaking for the town manager or the mayor, I'm speaking for you. You will have the power to tell us what you want us to do. We won't be meeting in the corner, in the hallway, and making up your decision. You will tell us whether or not and what you want to do. I just want to make sure you get that understanding. We serve you. You voted us in. We owe that to you. I'm not a politician here. I'm speaking as a servant. And I'm hoping that I'm representing what my board stands for. We are at your beckoning call, so you tell us. Then we will make the united voice of your voice. Okay? And we'll see you on Thursday, and you can bring more of your friends and people to come in to participate in this, because Princeville is not just the oldest African settlement in North America. It is a multiracial community now. And the people that hear about us need to know it just ain't about black folks. We got white folks, we got Latinos, we got Mexicans, we got Asians, everybody's over there. You just don't see them. So when we speaking, we just speaking, we're speaking to the world, to the country. We need help. And I've asked for some extra trucks, Mayor. I don't know where they're coming from, but I got a call today from Raleigh. And he wanted to know who was I speaking with. I said, I'll just put the message out that we need extra trucks to get this stuff off the street. Because I got raccoons, you see them on TV, 3 of them eating stuff. Over right across the street from Miss Two-Times' house. We just having a jam over there. But I told him, I said, the stench is getting bad, and we should be breathing it. And so we just got some things to do that we need to stick together. We've been repetized that we are divided people. But that's gone now. Time's gonna pull us all together. Regardless of your color, your finances, we're gonna all be one real soon. Anyway, I appreciate you coming out tonight, ma'am. I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
I'd like to say thank you all for coming out, and this is exactly what we need to do. We do need to hear your voices. We do need to make decisions based on your hearts and on your desires. This is a very scary time for all of us. We are included. Our homes are in Princeville as well. I've not been able to be back home since October as well. And we have a genuine concern for the town and the citizens at large. Princeville, you are Princeville. So when we're talking about making sure we make the best decision for Princeville, we're talking about making the best decision for you. We are very interested in your concerns. Please come to the meeting on Thursday evening. There are questions that you would like to ask. We are not qualified to answer all those questions. We can answer them to a certain degree, but we want you to hear straight from the horse's mouth exactly what you need to know. And we are here to help you process those things and make sure that we are in the best place that we can be. So we thank you so much for coming, and just know that we are all on the same side. We really are.
Good evening. I just like to let everybody know that I am glad that you came out tonight. We're glad to hear your concerns. And I just want anybody in Ward 4 who has a meeting date in mind, let me know.
I'd like to say good evening, and I have a quick question for everybody. Will y'all give me at least 45 minutes? I'm going to have to speak on a few things. Will everybody give me 45 minutes? Right. Thank you. Thank you for coming out.
A couple of announcements. A few citizens have been calling, complaining about the water and sewer bill. And I received my water and sewer bill today as well. And it's for October the 3rd through September the 3rd. October the 3rd through November the 3rd. I'm going backwards. Of course, we were not in our houses except for about 6 days. So I have sent an email out to our county manager and our commissioner to look into that, see what we can do about that bill. My bill was the same as it's been being for ever since I've been there, only for 6 days, so I think something's wrong with that and hope that they can correct it.
Right.
Nationwide, don't forget if you have a child in the town of Princeville, make sure you call the town hall before the 30th, 823-1057, 823-1057, give your child's name, the address, the ages, and gender. Nationwide Insurance is going to provide at least one gift to every one of our children. Again, that's going to be on December the 16th at 4:00 p.m. And they asked if we could come to Riverside Plaza instead of the town hall. Riverside Plaza right across from Power High School on the 16th of December at 4:00. But make sure you call your name of your children in before the 30th. We have 2 fundraisers for the town of Princeville that's going to take place. One is going to take place on December the 10th at New Bethel Christian Church in Raleigh at 5 o'clock. All funds received will come to the town of Princeville. Again, that's December the 10th at 5 o'clock, New Bethel Christian Church in Raleigh. The next one is at Elizabeth City State University on the 7th of February at 7:30 p.m. Elizabeth City State University, the 7th of February at 7:30 p.m. Certainly hope you'll be able to participate. All the money that's collected will come to the town of Princeville, and we're trying to determine now how to correctly, fairly distribute those funds. We have some funds coming in already. More funds are coming. But now it's up to the board with your direction letting us know the proper way that we should distribute those funds. Every dime that's coming in, we'll know where it's coming from, and we will know where it's going to. And believe me, it will not go to Father Jones. Okay? Anything else? I believe that is all I have. I'm asked Representative Willingham, do you have anything to add?
Let me just, I don't have anything to add. I just would like to say though that we I just want, first of all, good evening. One of the things that's happening in Raleigh, that will be happening, we will probably be going back in session for a special session to deliberate on what we're going to do as far as providing more funds for the disaster that just happened. What the word right now is that the governor has already sent to FEMA and asked for almost $2 billion. Okay, now we will probably not do anything until we hear from FEMA, from Washington, because what will happen when we find out how much they're giving, then when we go back in session, we'll determine what we need to put in. So they're still doing evaluations as to what's needed, and the state will be part of whatever mitigation or whatever that happens, because it will be in conjunction with FEMA. So, and I'll be glad to speak to the governor too. I understand that he did make a promise about providing some funds, reimbursing some things. Yeah, and he said this to me too on one occasion. So we need to, I need to speak to him and remind him, because sometimes there are a lot of things that are going on. I'm sure he's, of course, you know that he's involved in something right now too that's keeping him busy. But at the same time, we need to hold his feet to the fire about that. And I'll certainly give his office a call first thing tomorrow morning, because I thought that had already been done. And the governor he has the authority right now to give some money. He has, I think, close to $8 million that he can spend without any approval from the legislature. So I will speak to him, and hopefully we can get something resolved. And thank you.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to say something. Did you say the parade was going to be canceled?
Parade's been canceled. Yes. Okay,
because I've been getting a lot of calls. Also, I want everybody to know my name is Camilla Stanton from Pine Top. My dad was flooded out, so I'm here to make sure the correct information get out. I got off work, came over here to this meeting. I ought to be home. He's staying with me, and he's frustrated. I'm frustrated, but I'm here trying to make sure the proper information get out. Now, I heard some things said tonight about the FEMA trailers. Now, in '99, the TV station followed me home because I worked, like I got fired on my job. I had the direct contact numbers to FEMA, the head people, all the way to Washington. But what I want to say is, I heard some comments about the FEMA trailer. Now, I don't know what they're going to do this time, but I know the last time, I had to put the FEMA trailer on my aunt's land. Now, putting it in flooded property, I haven't heard that before. And when I talked to them this time, they said it was not any FEMA trailers coming to town. So y'all need to make sure y'all get this type of information to the people. Right. Because people going to be looking at and then when I leave here tonight, I've been spending a lot of money uploading this stuff to the video, to YouTube on my phone. My phone bill was $600 last month, trying to get your information out. Now, I got a friend, I'm going to go to her house tonight, and her husband, and put it on YouTube. But I'm trying to get the correct information out. But you know, the last time they had a FEMA trailer park, not inside Princeville, but on the outskirts. They had one over on, Untitled Road, whatever road it is, across from Untitled Road. So make sure people get the correct information. If some FEMA trailers come to town, then let them know that information need to be going out like tomorrow. Some things need to be done now, because people are hurt. Okay, now, the governor came to town, like Representative Willingham said. I found out about that Thursday night. I went to the meeting that morning, had sent an email to my job, so I'm going to this meeting because I want to make sure Princeville get the information. And that's what I did. So I'm here trying to make sure y'all get the correct information, and people call me all the time. I even heard that an email came out because I won't even go to Princeville after they let people back in because I stayed on top of it. But I was at Pizza Hut and something told me to go. I went through there and video Princeville. I even saw online where somebody said people being nosy. Might have been talking about me because I got my brother-in-law to drive too with my video camera. And I understand people, and they call me because they're sending stuff to Princeville because of my videos. So that's why I'm here tonight. I could be home doing something else. But I'm just letting you know that I'm the guy behind the camera. I'm trying to make sure y'all get what you get, and I'm gonna hold you guys accountable too. And another thing, my last thing is on your the public meeting tonight. I've been going to meetings since the late '80s. I know meetings the back of my hand. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not even an elected official. I ain't trying to be one. Like some people got to work behind the scenes because I got a big mouth. But I hope the next time you open up the meeting and the manager, whomever, that's how it normally done, read the audience so people understand what's going on, because I was totally confused over here. When you start out talking about FEMA trailers, then you start talking about manufactured homes, and I know about that because I don't live in the city limits of Pine Top, but I used to sit on that board. So when they stopped these manufactured homes coming into towns, I was on that board when they did it. So I understand this stuff, but please be more clear. Because these people are hurting, and I'm hurting too. Like I said, my daddy stabbed me, and I'm about to fight every night. There's this flood thing. So make sure people get the correct information, and when they got some questions, please get the answers ASAP. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I did not want to leave tonight without apologizing to you. My voice may have gone a little bit higher than normal, and I wanted to apologize to you. And before we leave, I want you to also know I too have called about picking up the trash. I don't want you to ever think that I haven't done that. Because I have relatives that live in Princeville. I'm in Princeville at least twice a week. But Crowder Gulf is the same company that we used in '99. But the difference is we're not the only community that has been flooded. It takes a special company to do the kind of hauling and disposal that has to be done after a flood. So Crowder Gulf only has so many trucks. They have trucks down in Lumberton, they have trucks in Pitt County, they have trucks all over the state who were hurt by Matthew. So it's not that you have been forgotten, but our manager has asked them to please recruit and bring in more trucks because we need to get the trash cleaned up as soon as possible. I've also asked him to get with environmental health because I want to make sure that our children who have asthma, our senior citizens who are on oxygen are not in any trouble with trash and smells around their house. So don't think that we're not thinking about it. But you can't just take an ordinary truck and pick stuff up like refrigerators, beds. We have to have special trucks and people who know what they're doing. And also, we haven't rushed because there are some homes that have not been cleaned out. If Crowder Gulf comes in here and cleans out everything in 2 weeks, those folks who have not been back to their homes, have not taken everything out and put it on the side of the street, will be left to their own abilities to get rid of those things. So please, if you have friends, family, relatives that live near you who have not cleaned their houses out, please get in touch with them and tell them it's of an essence that they do it right away. Because once they leave, they will not come back. And they're going to make 2 trips through each town. Remember, Pine Tops was flooded as well. They have houses and houses that have to be cleaned out as well. So it's not that you're on an island by yourself. But I do ask you to please have some patience. And remember, if you have any question of the county manager, he's on the 4th floor. You can go there any day of the week if you have a question. But all of these questions about buyout, please be at the meeting Thursday night. Please make sure you talk to, if you have flood insurance, if you put a trailer back, are you going to be able to have your insurance? Now those are things you've got to think about. And I don't think the state is going to give you a trailer to put back on a piece of land that just got flooded. Because it was 16 years, it's supposed to be 500 years, it could be next week. So you never know. So just think about those things, ask all those questions when you go Thursday night. As I told you before, we can't help you if we don't know what you need. Okay?
Motion to adjourn. It's been properly moved and seconded. They will adjourn. All their questions. All in favor, use the voting sign aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Thank you much.
Yeah.